times seek change, so must we. That the new time requires new response to new challenges.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another edition of the program As You Answer the Call. Nigeria is taking measures to prevent the nation from being ravaged by the deadly Delta variant of the COVID-19 disease. Support this effort by respecting the COVID protocols and avail yourself for vaccination when it gets to your turn. Once again, welcome to the program As You Answer the Call. I am Binta Magaji, your regular host on the program. Since the creation of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit at the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON, the leadership of the Commission has been providing the unit with the necessary institutional support in order to discharge its duties diligently. This support includes mounting a series of training programs for NAHCON staff on what ACTU is all about and what it seeks to achieve. The trainings are conducted in partnership with the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. For details of the training program and its impact on Hajj operations, stay tuned for our Spotlight segment. Also in the program, we have our regular segments such as the NAHCON News Diary, which features the activities of NAHCON chairman, key functionaries of the Commission, and other stakeholders. These are more shortly. Don't go away.
Every Muslim is a potential pilgrim. To make the Hajj possible for the Ummah, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON is running a Hajj saving scheme through JAWAB Bank. The scheme allows depositors to gradually save for the Hajj over a period of time. Registration into the Hajj saving scheme is ongoing for all Muslims. Muslims wishing to perform Hajj can be enrolled into the scheme through the following outlets: NAHCON offices across the country, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies and commissions, any branch of JAWAB Bank in the country. Enrollment can also be done directly by logging into dedicated sites for the scheme. Let's participate and support the Hajj saving scheme for better Hajj services.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's begin the program with the news diary as presented from our studio. The Saudi Minister of Health, Dr. Tawfiq Al-Rabia, said the 2021 Hajj was completed successfully with no incidents of COVID-19 infections or other health-related issues among pilgrims. The statement was credited to the minister by the Saudi-based newspaper Arab News. In it, he appreciated the pilgrims for abiding by all the precautionary measures put in place in the course of the Hajj. As part of plans to halt the spread of COVID-19, the 2021 Hajj was limited to only 60,000 pilgrims who are resident in Saudi Arabia. Foreign pilgrims were not allowed to perform the 2021 Hajj, just as it was in 2020. Meanwhile, the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz, is full of praises for the Muslim Ummah for supporting the kingdom to organize the 2021 Hajj successfully. King Salman stated this during the Eid al-Kabir celebrations. The custodian of the Holy Mosque said the cooperation of Muslims around the world was largely responsible for the success of this year's Hajj, saying that religious leaders supported and valued the measures taken by Saudi government to protect the pilgrims and prevent the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. He thanked Allah for the success of the kingdom's efforts in reducing the effects caused by the coronavirus.
Every Muslim is a potential pilgrim. To make the Hajj possible for the Ummah, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON is running a Hajj saving scheme through JAWAB Bank. The scheme allows depositors to gradually save for the Hajj over a period of time. Registration into the Hajj saving scheme is ongoing for all Muslims. Muslims wishing to perform Hajj can be enrolled into the scheme through the following outlets: NAHCON offices across the country, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies and commissions, any branch of JAWAB Bank in the country. Enrollment can also be done directly by logging into dedicated sites for the scheme. Let's participate and support the Hajj saving scheme for better Hajj services.
Alhamdulillah, if just tuning in, the program is As You Answer the Call, a public enlightenment presentation that keeps you abreast of the activities of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON and other Hajj-related matters. The management of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON recently held a training session for its staff on transparency, integrity, and how to identify and halt corrupt practices in the Hajj industry. The training is in line with NAHCON's determination to improve its services and as well as ensure that pilgrims get value for their money. For details about these and more, stay tuned for the next segment, Spotlight. Don't go away.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
As part of strategies to further enthrone transparency and accountability in Hajj management and give Nigerian pilgrims value for their money, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON, in collaboration with the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC), mounted series of workshops for its senior and junior staff. The workshops were part of programs designed by the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit (ACTU) at NAHCON to educate staff on how to eliminate corrupt practices in the Hajj industry. The Independent Corrupt Practices Commission (ICPC) is establishing Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit in federal ministries, departments and agencies in order to contain corrupt practices. The unit at NAHCON was established last year.
That support they need stems from that point. They are part of.
At the training session organized recently for NAHCON senior staff at the Hajj House, NAHCON Chairman Alhaji Zikrullah Kulle Hassan and the Commissioner of Operations Alhaji Abdullahi Magaji Hardawa were optimistic that the training will create the consciousness needed to fight corruption in Nigeria.
And I hope that whatever you tell us will be able to make us better than whatever we are now. We agree with you that the issue at stake is something that we need to work on so that we can have a better Nigeria as it is.
And probably you need to create a unit to address this and be collaborating with agencies like NOAA and other related institutions to enlighten the people of the ills of this corruption. Some people indulge in corruption without knowing that they are stepping into the territory. But if they are enlightened enough, those who have conscience will try to run away from it.
While presenting a paper titled Management Support for Actors' Role in the Workplace, ICPC Commissioner for Corruption, Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Olayinka Ayegbayo, highlighted the objectives of the training for senior staff, saying that it is designed to make the participants serve as role models and mentors for the junior ones.
We expect the executive and management staff here today present to serve as advocates to promote the effective functioning of the actors in the MDAs. That is, to sensitize their subordinates that, look, this thing is good, it's important, it will make us to be appreciated by our stakeholders if we do things right. So the senior staff are the ones that the younger ones or the junior ones are looking up to. So in all your conduct, you must be integrity champions.
The presentation further exposed the NAHCON top management on other priorities.
Persons of integrity in all our dealings.
Armed with this information, NAHCON management in turn organized a training session for its staff from level 13 and below. The training took place on Wednesday, the 7th of July 2021 at the conference hall of the Hajj House.
Is to assist us in transparency and also identifying...
Speaking at the occasion, NAHCON chairman Alhaji Zikrullah Kulle Hassan called on the staff to support the activities of the anti-corruption unit and be good ambassadors of the Hajj industry.
What we need is your support for Act 2. What we need is your advice for Act 2 in order for Act 2 to be able to achieve the mission for why it was set up and the vision behind the dream that brought Act 2 into being. Well, as you know, the purpose of Act 2 is to assist us in transparency and also identifying and reducing the curve of fraud in the Hajj industry.
In his presentation, the head of the unit and NAHCON Director of Monitoring and Evaluation, Olayiwola Abdusalam, highlighted the key objectives of Act 2.
ICPC needs support of others in fighting corruption because they felt they cannot do it alone. Desire for transparency and accountability within the public service. This boils down to the reasons why Act 2 is being established. Adherence to basic ethical standards in public service. Strong and effective institutes devoid of corrupt tendencies.
He further said branches of the unit will also be established at NAHCON zonal offices and outreaches across the country.
You have to start with yourself.
Another paper presented by the head of aviation unit at NAHCON, Engineer Goni, touched on integrity and the importance of ethics in public service.
Integrity is a moral compass that guides behavior. Integrity, it is the choosing to act based on values rather than benefits or gain. People are adjudged to have integrity when they are perceived to act according to the set rules, behavior, and principle. A person of integrity acts ethically. Being ethical is a choice between self-interest and selfness to avoid selfishness.
Engineer Goni further highlighted examples of unethical conducts which he said all public servants must avoid in order to earn integrity.
Embezzlement, the misappropriation of funds, bribery, extortion, irregular procurement, payment of ghost workers, using foreign companies to execute public contracts, and other examples of unethical conduct.
He also reiterated that to fight corruption and serve pilgrims efficiently, all hands must be on deck.
Men of integrity, because they can hardly be tempted.
There were comments, observations, and questions from participants.
One of the ways to fight corruption is to make sure that welfare of staff is well taken care of. I want to employ Act 2 to make sure that we have improved welfare for staff.
Serving a customer, like in our own case, a pilgrim. And this pilgrim was satisfied, you've done your job, and he comes back after probably performing Hajj, and he brings something to appreciate you. We know if you declare, you're supposed to declare, if you declare to your superior, will that also be gratification in this contest? And will I go for 7 years without option of fine if I accept it?
Based on the rules and duty of actors you mentioned, I think it would be good if members can be a permanent staff, not co-opted members of the actors, because for them to combine actors' work and their own primary assignment together might affect one of the two.
The establishment of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, Act 2, at the Hajj House has been described as a welcome development with the potential of improving on the services delivered to pilgrims.
When you make the system corrupt-free, everybody, both you, the provider and the end user, you stand to benefit. You two will be happy. They too will be happy. because value for money will be there, and the way they will be portraying your organization, you too, you will feel on top of the world.
Besides improving on service delivery to pilgrims, the activities of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit Act 2 at the Hajj House will as well enhance the good image of NAHCON.
MashaAllah, you're still watching as you answer the call. Coming up next is Making the Hajj.
Performing the Hajj or Umrah have spiritual messages pilgrims are expected to imbibe because of the benefits to the pilgrims and humanity in general. What are these lessons? How will pilgrims benefit from them? On Making the Hajj tonight, Malam Adamu Abdullahi answers these and other questions.
So the most important lesson which a pilgrim should understand, that there is an emphasis on oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Hajj. Right from the beginning, the words of Talbiyah which the Hajj is which the Hajj starts with labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika lak labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata lak wal mulk la sharika lak, saying that I have answered the call, your call, O Allah, and there is no partner with you, and all thanks and gratitude go to you, and there is no partner with you.
The convergence of pilgrims in one place at a time symbolizes the Day of Judgment. This is also a lesson for pilgrims.
When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will call all his servants and they stand in one place, just like the Muslims pray, they all stand in Arafah to praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everybody at the same time, the whole Muslims of the world. That is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to gather all human beings on the day of Qiyamah in one place for judgment. So Hajj should remind us of the day of judgment.
During Hajj, pilgrims share the same feelings, clothing, rites and times. This gives them the feeling of being brothers and sisters in the fields of life and religion.
Hajj also should remind us, to teach us about the brotherhood of Islam, because in Hajj you see people of different tribes. There's hardly no country of the world that is not represented in Hajj.
Hajj teaches pilgrims humility.
The pilgrim should learn the humility which is being taught in Hajj. In fact, during the period of Hajj, all the pilgrims are virtually in the same level in terms of dress they wear, in the type of the acts of worship, which involves trekking long distances, regardless of whatever their position is. Except, of course, if you are sick, but you have to trek, whether you like or not. So the pilgrim should learn that all human beings are servants of Allah, and the best among them, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, the best among you is the most pious.
Furthermore, in the course of the Hajj, pilgrims learn the lesson of giving up all luxuries of life for the sake of Allah. The expectations of pilgrims after the Hajj is Allah's rewards and forgiveness. Hajj reminds pilgrims to stay clear of any act that is not allowed in Islam.
In a nutshell, what is required of a Muslim is, by the time he goes back home, he's supposed to be seen as a better Muslim. His acts of worship, his relationship with people, his generosity, his humility, his sacrifices for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are to be seen to have increased. That will show that he has really imbibed the lessons of Hajj.
Imam Adamu Abdullahi advises Muslims to always seek knowledge about Hajj and Umrah so as to perform it in line with the teachings of Islam.
Every Muslim is a potential pilgrim. To make the Hajj possible for the Ummah, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria NAHCON is running a Hajj savings scheme through JAWAB Bank. The scheme allows depositors to gradually save for the Hajj over a period of time. Registration into the Hajj savings scheme is ongoing for all Muslims. Muslims wishing to perform Hajj can be enrolled into the scheme through the following outlets: NAHCON offices across the country, state pilgrims welfare boards, agencies and commissions, any branch of JAWAB Bank in the country. Enrollment can also be done directly by logging into dedicated sites for the scheme. Let's participate and support the Hajj savings scheme for better Hajj services.
Alhamdulillah, up next is the quiz. Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, name the pillar of Hajj that the Prophet ﷺ described as the Hajj. The correct answer is standing on the plains of Arafat on the 9th of Zulhijjah. The winner is Ajishafa Mustafa from Osun State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Ajishafa Mustafa will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week. And the question is, Pilgrims just concluded the Hajj rites. Mention 3 lessons that the Hajj teaches. I repeat, Pilgrims just concluded the Hajj rites. Mention 3 lessons that the Hajj teaches. Text the answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing. Once again, good luck to you. Before we round off the program, we take some messages from our viewers. Bilkisu Bambale from Kaduna State sent in the first message. It reads, I congratulate NAHCON on the seminar it organized recently for information managers of state pilgrims welfare boards. Hani sent in the second message. It says, I really enjoyed this program. I appreciate NAHCON management. We welcome your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile number and other social media platforms. Remember, you can stop the spread of coronavirus by complying with all preventive measures. Let's support our government in the fight against coronavirus, especially now that the deadly Delta variant of the disease is sweeping through some states of the Federation. That's it on this edition of the program as you answer the call. Join me same time next week for another package. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا